Larry Holder, Jeff Duncan here with you. Saints mock draft season time. We waited a little while, I think, to at least give us somewhat of a credibility because we got to see what happened at the NFL Scouting Combine. Jeff, you and me have both put out our first mock drafts. We both went defensive players. Jeff, let's start off with yours.
Well, Leighton Vander Esch, an outside linebacker from Boise State, was my selection. And I just feel like at that point in the draft, number 27 in the first round, you're really kind of relying on what falls to you at that point. And I think the Saints have done such a good job in the last few drafts of bolstering their roster. They found some stars. They found some good depth at certain positions that they really have the luxury of taking the best player available, who falls to them. And I think it very well could be this young linebacker out of Boise State. He's kind of come out of nowhere the last few weeks during the draft process. But like everything I read about him, everything I hear about him, and frankly, I'm not sure he'll be there at 27 because he's become such a rising prospect. His stock is on fire after the Combine that some other team might take him early on. But if the Saints have him on the board at 27, I think they will take a long, hard look at him because he brings something to their defense that they don't have, a big, physical, fast outside linebacker, something they haven't had in quite some time.
I also went defense with the number 27 overall pick, and I went with Sam Hubbard from Ohio State. Sound familiar? I think they've drafted a few good players from Ohio State. Why not keep going to that well 5, 6, 73,000 times if it works for you? But no, I look at him and I pondered Arden Key, honestly, there for LSU. I think at 27, someone like Arden Key, it might be worth taking a risk there. But I think there are question marks. So I went in my first mock, stayed safe, went with Sam Hubbard. He's 6'4", around 265, 270. So I think he's someone who might be able to play 3 downs at defensive end. And his draft profile from NFL.com read very similar to Cam Jordan. Basically, both of them said neither one of them jumped off the tape, but they work hard and they do this and that, but neither one would be premier pass rushers. Well, Cam Jordan certainly is one of the best pass rushers, so if Sam Hubbard can work his tail off, maybe he's someone they could ponder. So I went safe in this one. Who knows where I go the next couple that we do.
Well, I think both Hubbard and Vander Esch fall under the umbrella of past or most recent Saints drafts under Jeff Ireland, in that they're both mentally tough guys. You read about them. They have the makeup off the field. They're kind of football gym rats. They're totally passionate about the sport. And that's what the Saints have been doing successfully with Jeff Ireland here now over the player personnel department, marrying up the personnel with the coaching staff. And I think they make a lot of sense because of that, because I don't think this brain trust is going to take big risks on players with character risks in their background. I just think they're going to be safe in this draft, and both those guys I think are very safe picks.
Now, let me go up in one more topic here, tight end. I didn't take a tight end until the 7th round. I went with Jordan Aiken from Central Florida. I just basically saw a guy, went with him, honestly. And you went a little higher, and I feel like I want to see what they do in free agency before I start touting a tight end high in the draft, because what if the Saints do get Jimmy Graham? What if they happen to sign, say, someone like Trey Burton? But you still had them going with a tight end in the 3rd round.
Well, I think it all will be dictated by free agency, and you're right. If the Saints go and get a veteran tight end in free agency, that then makes it much less of a need. And it wouldn't surprise me if they did that, because in the past, the way the Saints have operated, they use free agency to fill their needs, and then it leaves them with the luxury, like we said, of going best player available in the draft. And so that could still bear out. Even if they brought in Jimmy Graham, I don't think that would preclude them from drafting a tight end somewhere. The kid I have going to the Saints is Mike Gesicki from Penn State in the 3rd round. He had such a good combine, Larry. I don't even know if that's really feasible anymore. I think he's probably going to go higher than that. And the Saints, of course, don't have a 2nd-round pick. So I might have been a little ambitious there, but that's part of the problem of doing these mocks as this fluid draft process plays out.
But just a reminder, the mock drafts, we're basically looking at positions of need and filling certain holes. Right. That's what this is more all about. And then once you get past free agency, you have a better idea, and then you could start zeroing in. And you have the pro days and private workouts, so you get a better feel of who the Saints actually really like. And so as we go on, we'll be shooting more videos going through our mock draft. So for Jeff Duncan, for Larry Holder, thanks for joining us.